Hi guys. In a previous session, we have seen sort option. Today, we'll go through the various filter sections which are available in the data menu. In your entire spreadsheet work or my experience that I have, almost 50 to 60% of the time or 50 to 60% of your actions will be related to sort and filtering. Because this is where you will churn your data or you'll work on your data, you'll try to analyze your data. So the maximum time that you'll be using these two options, that is sort and filtering. So let's jump up quickly to our option for filtering. How do you filter data? So there are two ways in which you can filter your data. You go to data, click on create filter, and it will ask me for two options, filter for everyone, filter for me. We'll tell you how this option works out at a later session, but right now we'll straight away go with filter for everyone. Let's understand filter. You will see there is a drop down arrow that comes beside each heading of the data through which you can filter your data. So we saw the first option, that is through data, filter, create filter. Another option is from the formatting menu bar. You have this funnel icon. So I'll just remove this filter. So how do you remove the filter? You go to data again. You have this option of remove filter. So the filters are removed. You do not see the drop down arrows again. Let's try it from the formatting bar. We have this funnel option, which you can see and can be used for filtering data. So this is the funnel option that we can use. Okay. So if I click on that funnel option, it will ask me to create a filter. So I'll just click on that. It will again open the same box on which we'll create filter for everyone. You can see the drop down appearing again. To remove the filter, once again, go to data, remove filter. Very simple. So we have seen how to create a filter and remove a filter from our data. Now let's dive into what all options we have in a filter and how we can filter a data. So let's go to data, create a filter. I'll filter for everyone. Now, one point you need to remember in filtering is whatever filter you add will be accessible to anyone with whom you have shared your Google Sheet with. So any filtering that you do or you add a filter to in the Google Sheet will be available to the people with whom you have shared the Google Sheet. So I'll show you how. So suppose I'm creating filter for everyone. So there are two options, filter for everyone. We'll just look into filter for everyone for the time being. Filter for me, we'll look after once we have done checking all the options of the filter. So go to filter for everyone. Now, once I put this filter, I have shared you remember I have shared this data with another ID of mine, which is Nilesh Desai. Yes. If I go to that sheet which was shared with my colleague Nilesh Desai, you can see the filter is available for him as well. Now, whatever filter I select, suppose I select to filter my data by just A. So only one row is available. that is A. The same data will be available for the person who is sharing this file with me. So if he tries to make any change, he tries to put B and D as well. And I'll say, okay. I'll say B and D. Okay. See, the B and D rows are also available. So this is the importance of collaboration in Google Sheets. This is the beauty of collaboration in Google Sheet, where two people can work together on the same sheet, same data, and it is available on real time to both or all the people whom with the sheet is shared, or with your team whom you want to collaborate. So let's explore all the options one by one which are available in filter. We are checking on the alphabetical columns first. So let's do it this way. Now, let's start from below. We have seen the sort options in a sort section, which you can go back to my previous session and check it. We'll not get into this. We'll check the filter by color, filter by condition, filter by values, and the search option. So we'll start with the search option. So suppose I want to search for value A. So if I type here, it will only show me value A. I want to search value Z. It will show me. So that is how you search. Yes. Now in order to select it, you need to first clear this. Yes. I'll show you why you need to clear it. So I'll select it first. If I search for an option A and if I say OK, it will not filter out the data because other options are also selected. So you need to first clear all the options. Then you type, suppose I want the Z row. Then you select this. Once you have the option, you select this, you say OK. Can see the row has got filtered. Same way, if you want to add more rows, uh, suppose I want to add D as well. I'll select D and I'll say OK. So I can see both rows Z and D. So this is how you filter your rows through search option. Yeah. You can have multiple options selected by scrolling or typing. Yeah. So you can have multiple selections, or I can say clear all selection and say select all. So all the rows are again available for me. But you need to be very clear on how to use select all and the clear options which are available here to get the data properly seen from the selections that you do. So this was filter by values. Let's jump onto filter by colors because we have already seen this in our sort option. So suppose again, I have this 4 cell marked as yellow and this 3 cells marked as red in text. Oh, sorry. I need to mark it as red in text. Okay. You can see 10, 2, and 3. The text color have been changed to red, and here the background color have been made to yellow. So this is fill color. Now, if I want to filter out, suppose let's make it together, make it consolidated. I'll make B, D, and A as red in text. Okay. I want to show you how you can use it in combination. So I go to name and I say, filter by color, fill color, I want it by yellow. Yeah, so I got all my yellow colored cell filtered out. Same way, if I want to see the white ones, I'll just click on white, I'll only be able to see the white. Now, in this white color, I can filter out text color, which is red. Yes, or text color, which is black. Again, we'll repeat this. I'll filter out, I'll say none. So there is no color filtering that has been done. In yellow also, I'll try to filter some text by some other color, say by blue. So this is blue. I hope, oh yeah, maybe to see this blue color. So I go to color. Suppose I want to filter out my all the cells which are in yellow, and I want to see the cells whose text colors are also blue. So yellow is should be the fill color and text should be blue color. So I'll click on blue. Yes. If I want to remove all the filter, I'll say no. Pretty cool. So this is how you use filter by values and filter by color. Now let's move on to the next option. Filter by condition. We'll see some of the conditions. Like suppose I want to see only the cell which is blank in unit cost. So I'll go to unit cost. I'll say filter by condition. I'll say is empty. And I'll say okay. Yeah. So only the row which doesn't have any value in unit cost is been filtered out. If I want to filter only the rows which are not empty, yeah, they should contain some value. So the blank value row is totally eradicated from the data. Same way, there are various options. So currently I keep it as none. So it will come back to the normal data that I have. Suppose I want to do, I'll do some text filtering and I'll show you some date and value filtering. So suppose I want to have text which contains A. Yes, I'll say okay. So the text or the rows which has the alphabet A will be filtered out. So let me first remove this filter. I'll say none. I'll add A to some other cell. I'll say DA and I'll say AG. So wherever it may be A, it should contain A and it should be filtered out. So again, I'll go to filter. I'll say contain and I'll say any of the cells in this particular column, name column, which has A should be filtered out. So I'll say okay. Yeah. So the rows where the name had A in it has got filter. So it could be DA, it could be only A, it could be AG. So A could be anywhere in the names available. So this is how you filter text. I'll just make it none once again. Suppose I want to filter out some values. So I want all the rows to be filtered where the sales is above 100. So I go to filter by condition. Yeah. Select greater than equal to and I put 100. Now all the rows which have the sales above 100 we filtered out. Yeah, you can see. Same way, if you want to see the cell which are less than or equal to 100. So all the rows which had sales less than or equal to 100 will be filtered out. Yeah. So the higher value which are above 100 are just hidden. So we saw how to filter text, how to filter dates, no, how to filter values. Let's have one example of how to filter dates. Now, suppose this is the order date. I want to see all the rows which are greater than 1st of April. So I'll say go to add a order date. I'll go to condition. I'll say date is after exact date. I'll try to select and I'll say 30 or 1st of April 2007. I'll say okay. I'll see all the dates, all the order date which are greater than 1st of April will be filtered out. Same way, if we say date before, so all the dates before 1st of April will be filtered out. Pretty simple. So you can use your ways of filtering out your data. I'll say none to just remove the filter. I do not get into custom formulas because that would be an advanced thing. But these are the simple ways in which you can filter out your data. Now let's look at our second option. I'll just remove this filter. Data, filter views. Now, why we require filter views? As I said, when you create a filter for everyone, it not only filters for myself. If I try to filter something here, A and B, the person who is working on my sheet, my colleague or my subordinate who is working on my sheet, his data also gets filtered based on the filter I have added. Yeah. So now, in order to remove this confusion or the confusion that may be created, because I may be working on A and B data. So I would prefer filtering out A and B, but my colleague would maybe working on the K and F data. So if I try to filter out A and B, my colleague or my subordinate will not be able to see the data on which he is working on. Yes. So Google Sheet has made it very simple for everyone where you can go and create views. So you go to data, filter views, create a new filter view, and it will create a new view by which the other person using the sheet will not get affected. How it would be? So you create filter views, create new filter view. You can see there is a new black ribbon that comes up where you can name your filter ECA filter. Yeah. Now if I filter this by A and B, that's for myself, which I'm working on. My colleague who is working the data, his data is not affected. Yes, if he wants to see my filters and check what I am working on, so he can go to data, go to filter views and check the ECA filter, where he can see what I'm doing. Yeah, but if he doesn't want to work on this filter, he can say straight away say none, and he can work on the other data, while I can work on the filter data that I have filtered on. So filter view will not affect the view of the data of my subordinate or the person with whom I have shared my sheet. Now there are various options available in filter views as well, which you can look. So we can delete all filter views. So I can delete all these filter views, which we'll see later on. With filter view, we can rename my filter view. So I want to rename my view. I can say filters. Yes, I can rename the name or rename this view, or I can update range. So if I update range, it will ask me what all range I want to put. So if I say 12, yes, so the range is increased. So you can see this line has moved a little down. Data, again, filter views. If I want to duplicate this view, I can duplicate this view. Yeah, copy of the view. Then you be able to see there are two views which are available, ECA filter view and copy ECA filter. Last is delete view. So if I want to delete a view, it will straight away delete. So the current view which is open will get deleted. So data filter, suppose I'm using filter one as a view. I want to delete this view. I'll go to data, filter views, and I'll say delete view. It will take me to my normal view. My ECA view is still available. You can see this ECA filter, which is my A and B selected. So this is how you can personalize the views for yourself. Now, if I want to delete all my filter views, I'll say delete all filter views and all the views would be gone. Yes, this was same option when we tried to create filter initially. So if I say create filter, filter for me, which is what I was talking about the filter view. So if I say filter for me, it has created a new filter view for myself. So here you can see the filter one, which is the filter view. Yes, pretty cool. So I'll say none. So this is how you filter your data or use filter view to create your personalized filters. Now there is a very unique way in which filters can be used in slicers as well without creating this filters or filter views. How you can do that is by using slicer. So if I go to data and add a slicer. Yeah. Now there is a new pop-up window that appears here. Now, what you need to do is you need to select the column which you want to filter out. So suppose I want to filter out the name column. I'll select the name. Yeah. This is the right hand side corner in which you need to go and select the name from the various options that are available. So I can select sales, I can select name or anything else, but for a simplicity basis, I have selected name as the region which will be appearing here. So what will happen now? Once you select the column which is supposed to be available in the slicer, I go to the slicer and the drop down, I select the same drop downs which are available in your filter are available here. I'll say clear and I'll select only A and B and I'll say OK. Now, there are no filters in the headers. Here you can see the filters are not available in the headers, the first row. Rather, we have a slicer through which we are filtering the data. So it looks very beautiful or it looks very sophisticated way in which you are trying to filter out your data. So if I want to just select F and K, I'll say, okay, your data is getting filtered based on the slicer that you have used. The options in the slicer again are the same, conditional, which we have checked in the filters, and by values. It doesn't have the color or anything which was available earlier in the filter options. So this is how you can filter out your data for various analysis or any kind of insights that you want to check on your data. And as I said earlier, when you start using Google Sheet 50 to 60 times or 50 to 60% of your time, you'll use filter and sort options while working on the data. That's all for the filter section in your data menu. Thank you.